Hi there, Helen. I hope you're well. It's Les from Armada Marketing. I don't know if you remember me. We spoke a couple of years ago, and I was really impressed with the service that I got from yourself. I think it was Phil who was actually doing my teeth at the time. And I think I saw Charlotte, the hygienist. And you told me about how, essentially, when you and Phil took over Armada Dental, and you, over time, were able to change the reputation to grow it. And I hope I'm going to be able to give you just as much value, if not more so, than you gave me when I came in and you helped me with my teeth. Because I believe with a detailed SEO campaign that we could grow Armada Dental significantly to revenues even as high as £40,000 a month. Now that's a huge figure, I know, but I'm going to talk you through in a moment how it is that I got there, and just show you a little bit of data that I think you're really going to enjoy. As well as this, I'm also going to show you just a few things that you or Phil or maybe even another member of your team could start doing immediately after you finished your video audit to get this ball rolling, to just help expand Armada in a way that maybe you didn't even think was possible. So I have no doubt that you're going to enjoy the rest of this video, because again, it's just going to give you some value that I don't think anyone's ever given you before. So let me talk you through how I just plucked that figure, £40,000 a month, out of the air, because it seems like a little bit of a long shot. So I've done some really basic keyword research to see how many people are looking for services similar to what Armada Dental provides every single day. And this is what Google's told us. So at the moment, we've got around about 1,900 people just looking for a dentist in Plymouth every single month. So they're not specifically looking for one dental practice. These are really new customers that need a service that you provide, but they don't know, or they don't realise yet that it's Armada Dental that they need. At the moment, I believe Hartley Dental actually hold that top spot at the moment. And we know that Hartley Dental are getting around about 42% of the traffic that's coming through. So they're getting potentially up to around about 800 visitors every single month just by holding the top spot for Google for a dentist in Plymouth. Now, this part here, I've done a little bit of estimation, and I've said that the average fee that you get from your customer over the course of a year is around about £300. I think that's conservative, but if you think that's realistic, great. If you think that maybe it's another figure and I'm way off, just pop that in for your own calculations to get a more realistic answer. And if you've got a half decent website, we'd expect around about a 10% conversion rate. So if someone is actively looking for a dentist and they go onto a certain web page, we'd expect around about 1 in 10 people to actually pick up the phone and book an appointment with yourselves. So based on those calculations, that's approximately £24,000 a month in extra revenue you guys weren't getting before, just because you weren't showing up for those customers when they were looking for you. And that means if you were to rank for all of these keywords, that's potentially an extra £40,000 a month in revenue that just wasn't there before. Now you might be thinking, Les, that's great, but we can't handle that kind of traffic. That's really not a problem. It takes a very long time to be able to get someone from ground zero where you are to that kind of spot. In fact, we'd expect it to take around about 6 months for that to happen. And of course, on the flip side, it's a much nicer problem to have, to be turning away customers as opposed to not being able to grow at all. So that's just some of the keyword research. But more importantly, why is it that Armada Dental aren't at the top necessarily for any of those at the moment? I'm going to show you now just a few things that you can start doing immediately yourselves. So I'm using a free piece of software here called Screaming Frog, and what this allows me to do is it allows me just to see a few different elements of your website to see how rich they are with particular keywords that really you want to be ranking for. At the moment, I can see that you've only got a few pages on your website, and you've got dental surgery, and you've got dental patients, and you've got, of course, Armada Dental. But we can't see any of those keywords like Dentist Plymouth, Emergency Dentist Plymouth, Dental Plan Plymouth, that we really want to be on top of Google for, to be able to get those new customers in. So just by going through, adding a few more pages to your website, and actually just changing the page titles to that, that would make a big difference. It wouldn't change anything overnight. There's around about 200 variables that Google uses to determine how relevant you are for a customer, and then it ranks you accordingly. But this at least allows you to get the ball rolling. Thankfully, as Google certified partners, we know what they are, so we could do the rest for you if and when you needed it. We've also got another aspect that we'd want to look at, which is your heading tags, your H1 tags. So what are the titles that you've got at the top of that page that people are looking at? And we've got a few fantastic ones. We've got emergency dentist in Plymouth. We've got dentist Plymouth. Again, something that we want to do is we just want to have more headings on there, and perhaps maybe embedding a few more of those other keywords that we mentioned over here. But just to show you what it is that Hartley are doing, they're doing it very well, and they've clearly done it intentionally as well. Let me just double check something else here. Yeah, you are secure. That's good. If we pop in Hartley Dental's website, you're going to see something quite extraordinary for their page titles. First of all, you're going to see a lot more. And you're also going to see that all those keywords we want you ranking for, they're just littered throughout all of their page titles as well. Look at that. That hasn't even finished loading, but you can see they've got dentist, dentistry Plymouth, teeth whitening in Plymouth. They've got it all because they know what it is that they want to be ranking for. So they're probably in a position where they're turning away business. And what doing this allows you to do, Helen, as opposed to being able to just focus on growing the business, allows you guys to do what I know you do best, which is just serving your customers. We've worked now with all sorts of businesses, from startups through to established companies, to even businesses that were on the verge of bankruptcy. And in fact, I'll give you an example of one. If you were to, obviously you're watching this on your computer, maybe your phone, if you were just to Google nursing agency Paignton right now, or you could do nursing agency Barnstable, I think even nursing agency Devon, and you'd see our client at the top of Google here. A couple of years ago when we first visited Ken, I think he was working in a small rented office in a college in Paignton, and he had a handful of staff, and rightfully so, he was quite sceptical of what a detailed SEO campaign could actually do for his business, because like you, he was probably getting 100 cold calls and emails every single day with people who were just spamming him. And he had a few businesses who called in, so he had a few business friends who called in, marketing experts, and he said at best they just lost their money and they didn't get any results. In fact, I remember he was so skeptical. I think even when we sent him the proposal, he said, you know what, I'm going to give it a go, but I don't see the value in it. Now, if we fast forward a couple of years to today, Ocean Healthcare is arguably one of the leading healthcare providers across all of Devon, and he doesn't have that old rented office in the college anymore. He's got multiple offices scattered all across Devon, and we're going to be doing the exact same thing for him in Somerset as well. So it's safe to say that he can see the value in this now, and we turned that company from a small, I think it was turnover a few £100,000 a year, to now multiple millions every single year. And that's not to say that that's what you'd want to do with Armada. Maybe you're happy staying where you are and you just want to grow slowly. But what's nice is you get to be the choice of that, and the main way to do that is to, like I said, just show up for your customers. So what I'll do is I'll get my colleague Lindsay to give you a call at some point later in the week to see if you've been able to get on okay changing those page titles. But of course, in the interim, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to get in touch. But yeah, or just give me a call. But like I said, I hope you've been able to get some sort of value today out of this video, and I'm sure we'll speak soon. You take care. Have a good one. Bye.